All right, what is going on? Um, there's no direction to like what I'm about to say. I just wanted to film this and have it just be just a little lesson around different things that have been on my mind, and just see where the video takes me. It's growing these different companies and growing myself within the process. It gives you these different like lessons of what does it mean to show up, what does it mean to be the best version of yourself. And I think for anyone that watches this channel, it's always around like influence. It's always around being the best version of yourself. It's around like what capacity can we demand ourselves. But I'd say like the biggest lesson that I'm learning is that the quality of your life, it comes down to the quality of your questions. It comes down always to the quality of the questions that I'm asking. Whenever I find myself in a reoccurring problem, it's because I'm asking ineffective questions that are designed to give me the wrong answer. Right? So if you say, why am I anxious? Why can't I make a decision? Why does it feel like I keep finding myself in the same position? Right? If I ask things like that, I'm going to keep getting those types of responses. But when I stop and I go, what is the fastest way to solve this solution with the highest impact? What is the one thing, right, from the book, The One Thing? What is the one thing I can do that will make everything easy or unnecessary, right? How can I do this in half the amount of time with half the less of money, and make double the amount by the end of it and impact the most amount of people? What can I do for this to look effortless? What would this look like if it was easy? What would this look like if it was difficult? What would be the way to not succeed at this? What would cause absolute ruin and despair? And what can I do to avoid it? Right. So you can keep doing this, but notice how I'm not even giving you an example of something, but when you generate a different set of questions, we now have a different set of possibilities. So ask that. A lot of reps that I work with, they have a lot of self-doubt things, and questions that they do. All right, I don't know if I could do these calls. I don't know if I'm cut out for this, right? It'll be stuff like that. Notice those questions. I don't know if I could do this call. I don't know if I can do XYZ. It's all so focused. It's so magnified to the specific thing versus how can I use this call as a way of self-growth? How can I embrace the fact that I don't know what I'm doing? How can I get to the root of it so I can handle 6 calls? Right? Versus being like, wait, I can't handle this one, right? Or I can't handle this A-type prospect, right? So you can show up in all these different ways. Oh, I get thrown off when I encounter this A-type process, or I always do XYZ, right? Be very careful of always. Be very careful of that word, right? Always is just not real. Always is just a story. Always is you looking back at yourself and just like doing an audit and just scanning for the patterns to confirm a belief. That's all that always means. So you have to go back and be like, wait, no, I always overcame that belief. I always actually did something else. I always was XYZ. You want to make sure if you ever use the word always, that it's a powerful thing that draws energy for you, because all you have is the present moment, right? Whatever happened in your past, it just kind of happened. And all you have now is the memory of it. And there's so many different lenses to look at what happened that you can look at it through an empowering lens and have it be a lens that gives you energy today, because all that matters is today. All that you have is the moment. So why not draw from the past what will actually give you the highest form of energy, right? So this is what I want this whole channel to be around, is like, it's like reality, like alchemy. It's just like, how can I like take things where I just like constantly have maybe in this like looping of problems where I'm not figuring things out and it's just like there's just stress or whatever. How can I just have that be obliterated by completely changing the lens at which I look at things? And when you do that at a consistent basis, that's what allows you to be exceptional at closing. That's what allows you to be otherworldly with all the different things that you're doing. Is that instead of just always just living in the same reality, asking the same questions, being like, I don't know the answer, so then I need to get a book, I need to get this, I need to get that. As soon as we expand perspective and get outside of it, that's the only time that you can expand out. And you're doing the exact same thing in sales. You're asking a person a series of questions that's going to expand their reality, expand them into a certain set of frames that they weren't living in before. And then when they go through those frames, the decision to change becomes obvious, but that's because we outlined a new pattern for them. So you need to outline new patterns for yourself, right? And these lessons I share, but I'm really just speaking to myself, where it's just like you just go in these loops. You just go in these loops where you're just not solving it. So try to think of anything. It can be before the calls. It can be your purpose. Or what is my purpose? What is my purpose? All that, right? A better question instead of what is my purpose or how do I find my purpose, right? See the problems. I guarantee you that the problems always lie in the way the question is asked, right? How do I find my purpose, right? Purpose is not something you find. So the question is inherently flawed. So the question is always going to give you the wrong answer, right? Versus how do I create my purpose? If I just change that one word, it might not be true. Maybe you do find purpose, but I would actually argue you create it. Now, if I operate with that premise, I have a completely new solution set of where I'm going to find and actually attract opportunities from, right? This is profound. This is happening with every single thing you have, right? A lot of thoughts too. Are you saying something and then you responding to it? You saying it's something, you responding to it. So like the nature of thoughts is in the sense of questions, right? Which is very interesting to think about, right? Because sometimes you're actually directly asking yourself a question like, oh, what food should I get? Or was it kind of bad that I did this, right? So you can ask yourself questions, but then a lot of it is also almost elicitation. It's almost, I looked a little anxious when I did that. Oh, that felt off when I did that. Those are all thoughts that are eliciting a response from the other part of you to go like, oh, well, no, it wasn't this and that. It's like, so it's always stimulus and then it's like the response of it, right? So like your whole mind is engineered to think this way. That's why it's so powerful. And that's what you're doing with the person, is guiding them through these different thoughts. But on the topic of that purpose question, right? How do I find my purpose, right? You need to ask yourself, how can I create my purpose, right? Completely different set. And now it's like, okay, I generated all that, right? Or how can I ask myself a bigger question? How can I just be like, how can I just have purpose be a byproduct of being exceptional, right? Why not have it be like that, right? So you can play around with reality based off the questions you ask. So think of it this week, think about it going into this year, but just ask yourself bigger questions of your business, right? Instead of just being like, how can I make 100,000 a month? How can I make 100,000 a month as twice as fast, right? I thought it was going to be by the end of the year. How can I have it in July? Okay, what would need to be true for that to happen? Okay, I probably need this. I probably need that. Now your brain starts scanning in a different realm of reality. So that's why this is better than like thinking big or these different things that people will say, because it's not getting to like a core mechanism that you can change instantly. This is something that everyone knows how to ask a question, ask bigger questions of it, and then you see your reality expand as you do that, right? Most powerful thing. So that's all I wanted to hit on this lesson. Again, these are just random where I want to like share things, but apply it. And I'm going to keep dropping lessons like this where it's like, how can we just like bend reality with the questions that we ask, but then also bend other people's realities, influence. I'm going to just share a lot of different stories as we scale different companies, things that I learn as an entrepreneur, and just have this be as authentic as humanly possible to help as many people that were in similar positions to me, where they just didn't trust themselves. They maybe didn't believe in themselves, and they were just lost with all the different advice out there that just didn't point them in the actual right direction. I want to have this channel as if I was speaking to my younger self and speaking to students that are in a similar position to me, so that you can self-actualize and have fun with creating reality and just having whatever life you want, right? So thank you for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.